Hi guys! So finally my Raspberry Pi 5 arrived today, so I decided to create the assembly video for you. Um, First of all, I decided to use the Raspberry 5 for this video because for the ROG 64 I have some trouble with the connections. It's working, but you need an adapter cable, and I wanted to show you that stuff without all those, let's say, specific parts you may not need for the Raspberry Pi 5. And also the Raspberry Pi 5 is more current than the ROG 64, so I decided to use it here for this video. So if you have questions regarding the ROG 64, just write or PM me. How do we start? I pre-assembled the Raspberry Pi 5 into the bottom housing. Here I show you one of my prototypes. You have 4 holes, and these holes matched for those screws. These are M3 screws with a length of 6 millimeters. So these ones. You need 4 here. Then I already pre-assembled the button with the locking mechanism. I have to say that the locking mechanism is currently not working so good because it's just too small here and it's not completely locking, but I will fix that, and then you only have to reprint that plate here and maybe the expansion pack part, but I will try to make it compatible with all the other stuff you may already printed. So the locker mechanism is also pre-assembled. You need also M3 screws for this. These are the 6 millimeter ones. So you need M3 screws with 6 millimeters for the locking mechanism. You need 2. So 4 of the 6 millimeters M3 8 6. No, it was 6 millimeters. So to summarize, you need 6 screws of M3 with 6 millimeters. I have just 2 different heads, so I was confused because here I have the same screws, but the heads are different. So I decided to use those heads for the locking mechanism and the round ones for the board, but you can do it how you want it. Okay, so that's for the internal stuff. For the external assembly, you need also 4 screws, but you need 2 M5s, these ones, the M5 with 20 millimeters, 2 of them, and then you also need M3 screws with 16 millimeters. I think you can also use some with 20, but I think you're good with 16 millimeters. Yeah, you should also go with 16 millimeters. Okay, so 2 M5, 2 M3, 20, 16. You can also use 20 here. Then this is the pre-assembled top with the bottom and with the logo. I already created a logo with a 0.4 nozzle. I would still recommend a 0.2 nozzle, and I think not all of you have 2 AMS units, so this can also only be printed if you have a 2 AMS, or you can switch manually. I may provide another profile for this where you can switch manually, but these are 22 times you need to change the filament. I think this doesn't make fun at all. So let's assemble the N64. We have the bottom, we have the top, we have the back plate for the Raspberry 5, and I already inserted cables. This is a USB-C cable. It's pretty long. I may order another one which is a little bit shorter with a female plug at the other end, and also for the HDMI port, this is micro HDMI. I'm also using an extension with a female port. So, and also decided to not use the fan for this board. You can use the fan here, but this is a 12-volt fan and you need a 5-volt fan for the Raspberry Pi, so this fan wouldn't work at all. So I decided to just leave it here and use the pre-assembled one. Okay, for the assembly, just connect both units. Keep in mind that you pre-install the cables, because the cables need to fit at the back. Then just use the screws. I do this by hand for now. I pre-assembled it a bit that I don't need so much time for that video. The smaller ones are the ones who need a little bit more force. Okay. And then I just recognized that it's the wrong way around, but I will do this later. So I need to turn it. Okay, then just one hint: if you insert the board, already insert the SD card. You can get it off, but inserting it is a little bit tricky. You need maybe some tool to get it in and just push it, because it's really tricky to do it with the fingers. But it's working. Just need to be patient. Then I install the LED indicator right now. When you remove the supports for the LED indicator, use a screwdriver. Just use the normal screwdriver, insert it at the front and push it inside, and then you get all that filament away from the hole. So this is pre-assembled. Now we insert the expansion pack. So just have in mind that you need to power off the N64 to insert the expansion pack, and now put it on, and now it's locked. The locking mechanism works, but currently it's a little bit loose, but I will improve that as promised. And at the end, use the controller blends, just push them on the N64 at the front. Yeah. Push the logo inside. You don't need to glue it. It's designed in the way that it holds without any glue. And then you're done. So you see it's assembled. And if you want to unlock and get off the expansion pack, just power it off, push the LED indicator, then you see here it will go up, and then you can easily remove it. When you want to insert it again, push the LED indicator, insert the expansion pack, and switch it on again. Okay, so finally we're done. I made the fault that I just inserted the blend in the wrong way, so don't do that. I know you're ready to go. If you have feature requests, if you want to have another blend for another board, maybe need another size, because I also ordered the alu coolers without the fan, so I could install it, but then I had to drill holes at the bottom. That's why I'm not showing this here in this video. And if you push it inside, you have to tighten it from the bottom. This will work, of course, and yeah, that's what I meant with the lock mechanism is not so good right now. So if you want to use that with the Raspberry Pi 5 and install a fan, you need a smaller fan like this, because you won't get it completely closed. I think it's 1 or 2 millimeters. So if you need another size, just PM me. I will try to create a bigger one. If you need another board, just PM me. If you want to have a bigger N64 at all, just PM me. I will try to create several models for several boards or for several purposes. So yeah, just leave me a comment, just write me a PM, and then I will try to create your feature request. Okay, so thank you for watching. Have fun with printing, have fun with the assembly.